Hey guys, it's Kilari. It's really hot and humid and it's only like 8:30 a.m. I didn't vlog earlier, so I was just rushing and trying to get out the barn to go to Copper Meadows, which is where the one-day event is that I'm I'm here right now. I'm walking my cross-country course. I just spent the past 15 minutes looking for jump 4 because they don't have course maps. And see if you can, this is the whole cross-country field and it winds and turns and it's really confusing, and I haven't been here since they rearranged the whole course. So yeah, I just spent forever trying to find pins 4. I finally went up and asked the jump judge where it was at. I found it. It's right there. Yeah, so I'm just walking it, and then afterwards I'm gonna warm up. We'll tack up on me and then warm up and go. I'm only here for a cross-country round because he doesn't need to do the full one day. I just want him out to school some cross-country. Here's our fence, and it looks like it's a combination. So you go from here to there. It's not flagged, but I don't know. They're not like super strict with these one days. It's not like any recognized event or whatever. It's more like a schooling event type of deal. Yeah, we just go to this fence. Good Lord, now we need to find pins 5. Oh goodness. Well, what do you guys think? Oh crap, I'm gonna be wandering around again. Alright, well I'm gonna go try to find it. See you guys later.
Where you at, Ami? Ami, are you at Copper Meadows, huh? Are you at Copper Meadows? Yeah, you are. No pine. Where's Kilari? Is she out walking the course? Show office? Hey, stop it. Ami, stop it. What you hear? What do you hear? You're right by the warm-up. So a lot of action behind you? Yeah, there is. Yeah, you see the warm-up going on over there, don't you? Through those bushes. Yep. There's the warm-up arena. Stadium warm-up.
Okay everyone, for this portion of the video I'm going to be doing a voiceover. So I started my GoPro and even from the first jump, Ami just, I don't know, he just wasn't really feeling right. He didn't jump bold and he was kind of trying to drag me to the right. As you can see, I'm trying to pull him back over onto our path to our second fence coming up soon here. It's the one, yeah, right there. And you can just see he doesn't really want to jump, but sometimes it takes him a few fences to get going. And right about here, I thought I heard his boot make a noise, so I stopped on course to look at his boots. And they were fine, and just check him over. He wasn't really acting normal. So because I'm only here to do this schooling round, I am allowed to stop, re-jump something if I want to school it again, take my time, that kind of thing. There's no one behind me, no one waiting to go on course because this is early in the morning, and although they are allowing you to jump before your dressage test, no one really likes to jump before their dressage. So I'm basically the only person out on cross country, and I was the only person in warm up. So right there, Ami thought I was going to make him jump those, but I wasn't. And we are galloping to fence 4, which I had a hard time previously finding. So here it is. His big bogey type fence are these big open oxers, and he just doesn't want to jump. He wanted to run out right, but I didn't let him. Wasn't a very good combination, so there you can see me shaking my head in disgust. And this literally was the worst cross-country round to date. And I just couldn't tell if it was bad because it was hot. It was about 100 degrees with humidity, and that's really rare for San Diego or Southern California. We don't really get those temps, and because of that, we don't really train in those temps. So it's hard, and just back there I slowed down a little bit to cross the field to look for holes and whatnot, and now I'm back on a track. So I couldn't tell if it was the heat or if he just was out of practice. It was really hard, and so there we just have a simple one. He was a little sticky to the base, and the next one is a little bit of a more difficult combination, only because it is a downhill approach and the footing in front of it was kind of deep. It is a bigger fence with little open cutouts. He didn't really want to jump it, and then he decided, oh, I'm going to jump it, and then he locked onto the wrong fence. He thought we were going to the right, and I said, no, we're going to the left. And it was another big fence over a ditch, and he's, like, his 2 worst fences, or 3 I should say, he hates ditches, he hates chicaners, and he hates open log oxers. So here I'm just letting him gallop a little bit, and we're coming up to, I think it's called a Weldon's Wall, and he, again, you can see him drifting right. He just doesn't really want to jump, and so I'm just thinking, I honestly don't know why I haven't pulled up by now. He just wasn't really feeling right, and I figure, like, oh, one more and he'll kick into gear, one more, you know, that kind of deal. So here we have a little table. Well, I guess it's not really little, but you know what I mean. And then we turn around here and go back up, and up the top of this little hill is, this fence here is actually a novice height fence, but because of the way it's placed at the top of a hill, that makes it a training combination. And here, I guess people thought that he was surprised by the fence, but he really wasn't. You can just see he just coasted to a stop. I mean, I could have made him jump it, but since he wasn't feeling normal, I didn't really force the issue, if that makes sense. So I just gave him a smack, and then we pick up our canter here, and we re-present it, as you'll see in a second, and he jumps it without really a problem. Yeah, and he's jumped this fence before. Not in this placement, but he has done this one before. And then next here is the water combination. It's an ABC. So you have a jump here, which he kind of stutters into, which is really unlike him. And then I ask him to shorten his stride. He ignores me, leaves the stride out, stumbles upon going up the bank, and I don't know if you can hear my little ooh. Yeah, that's because a few years back, the mare I used to lease, we were on a training course at this facility, and we were going up the training up bank out of the water, and unfortunately one of her tendons snapped in her leg and she ended up breaking her leg. Long story short, it was a really bad experience, and sometimes that whole traumatic episode just freaks me out a little bit, if that makes sense. So anyhow, it was really bad, so I decided to do it again. And then he waits this time, I make him wait there, jumps it, and then we have this sea element, jumps that nice, and then I call it a day. We technically have another table, a corner, and then a hedge fence before the end of our course, but if you can see like way out there towards warm-up, like way out in front of us is warm-up, we would have had to gallop to the left and then back over straight ahead to us. So I mean, it was still quite a ways, even though it's only 3 fences, and he just wasn't really feeling right.
Okay.
So that's why I stopped.
He's hot and sweaty.
Hot out.
What happened now? Hives all over him.
Hives. So he has lumps like all over him. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but I guess this is what I was feeling was wrong. So when I tacked up, he didn't have any of these. And then when I untacked, he was covered in hives. Like welts. And then he even has welts like, I don't know if you can see it. Sorry if it's like TMI guys, but he even has welts in his little butt cheeks. And then over here, he has the welts all up here, here, here. Here. There's a pretty big one right here. Up here, on top, saddle area is barrel. He has a whole cluster right here.
Where?
Right
Ooh,
here.
yeah.
He has like a cluster of them.
Maybe if the sun shines on them, maybe they'll
Yeah,
show
I don't know
up.
if they can see it in like right here on his neck.
If I get the right
His
angle with the
breastplate
sun
goes.
showing on them.
Can you see him? He's covered in hives.
Oh my gosh, there's a big one right there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. He's covered
Down
in
his
them.
legs.
I know. I've never had hives like this on him before. And I think it's the fly spray. It's the only thing I can think of. I think the fly spray reacted and all the sweat and the high heat and the sun. So I've been
Poor
using
boy.
the same fly spray for months now and I've never had this issue. But I've never ridden him this intensely on a hot day, so. Yeah, we rinsed him off and soaked him to try to get all the fly spray off, so.
Petulant.
Now he's a happy boy. And I actually have, he's allergic to bees, so I have packets of Dex that I keep on me at all times. And that actually works to get rid of hives too. So I can give him some medicine before we leave. Hopefully it'll make him feel better.
Poor boy.
I know, I'm kind of glad I pulled up now. Like I knew something wasn't quite right. Yep. It's so right. Okay.